Hey y'all, good afternoon. So a lot of people ask me questions like, what are your biggest challenges as a merchant mariner? Challenges for me was actually just getting up doing it, making a decision in my life to become a merchant mariner and sticking with it. That was something I wanted to do. I researched, I paid for school, and then bam, 6 weeks later, I was a merchant mariner. So, and there are other challenges like missing birthdays, missing, graduations, and, you know, christenings, and, holidays and birthdays. Like that's a really big thing. But because you think about it, you've been celebrating your birthday, Christmas, Thanksgiving every year up until this point, without any challenge, without having to miss it because you're going to work. So those are challenges that you will have to come through. And some people are not ready for that. They're not ready to not celebrate birthdays, but this is part of growth. This is something that you chose to do as far as your career. So why back out of it now? You've been wanting this. You wanted this. You went to school for this. You sacrificed everything for this to become a merchant mariner. You was working during the day. You sacrificed to come to school at night, knowing that you had to get up in the morning to go back to work. But this is what you do. You did this. When I was in the program, it was a 6 week program. Now it's a 2 week program. And then I think if you're doing it at night, I think it's a 4 week program. So they done cut it down a little bit. Some of the stuff that we were taught or they were teaching then, now you got to pay, that was involved in that program. Now you got to pay extra money for it. Like I know a lot of people were saying something about not tying. They don't have that. That's not an advantage. They wasn't taught that. That's something that you have to pay for separate now. But it's YouTube, and look up the most common knots as a merchant mariner. And I could tell you that a bowler knot is number one. Then you got the clove hitch, and I think they may have a square knot. It just depends on what it is that you need to use these knots for. And on these different companies, they expect you to know these things. So if you don't know that, that is something that you need to look up. You need to look into. Go on YouTube, type it in. They'll show you everything that you need. YouTube University. And those are just challenges in life. Even how was it going from paycheck to paycheck to having more money in your account than you even knew you can make in 2 weeks on the job. Like you have to be able to know exactly what to do when it comes to that money, saving money, putting money away, making sure your bills and stuff is paid, because it's not like you can leave and go pay these bills. Like you have to set these things up where they can come out automatic or be able to pay them from your phone. And don't get so don't get too excited with the money and want to blow the money, because you never know what may happen. You might have to send your mom some money. You may have to send your sister or your brother some money, or you may have to do something for your grandparents, and you want to make sure that you have money put to the side just for that. So in other words, when you work paycheck to paycheck, your check be gone before you even get it, before you even hit your account. When you become a merchant mariner, you'll have money left over. You'll have money to do other things with. And when you're out here in the different ports, you can go and the different ports and on their base, or go in their malls, the markets, whatever they have, and you can purchase things when you're out of these different ports. Go see the world, travel for free. A lot of these companies, they pay for you to go wherever you need to go. They're paying for your flights there and back, putting you up in hotels until your ship is wherever they're supposed to meet you at when you get on these ships when you first start out, and vice versa when it's time to go home. Sometimes you may not even have you may not be in port. You may have to they may have helicopters on your boat that's going to take you where you need to go. I've been there, I've done that. I've worked as a contractor for the Navy, so you have those advantages. You have the good insurance. You have, it's a lot of things that you were limited to depending on what your contract was. Now there's no limit to what you have and what's available to you and what's at your fingertips. So you have all of that stuff available. And I'm only giving y'all this information because it's something that I know. So you have to make certain sacrifices in life. And if you're going to let a birthday stop you from making an $8,000 paycheck, then that's on you. But you have to think smart now. We're grown now. We're not in high school anymore. You're setting yourself up for your forever career, because this is not just a job. This is a career, and you can level up the chain of command in whatever department that you want to work in. So I just want to make sure that I give you guys those tips, because it's valuable to your career and the journey that you're on right now. So That's it, guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.